Hello, what's up guys? Welcome to my channel. I'm Alessandro Taviani, professional esports racing driver and a coach in sim racing. I think I'm not posting videos since 2024, I don't know, but I just wanted to use this channel, this space, just to post some videos or stuff that could be helpful for a sim racing community. So that's why today we are gonna do a track guide about Bathurst here in RaceRoom, because at the end of the week there will be 2 hours of Bathurst, which is one of the special events of RaceRoom that it happens every year basically. So as I said before, I want to use this channel just to make content that can be useful, helpful for the sim racing community. That's why I'm trying to make these videos in English. For sure it's gonna be, you know, quite tricky. For sure I will do mistakes, so apologies, but yeah, I hope with the time the contents might be improved or not. I sincerely hope that it's gonna be that case, but just let's see. And yeah, they used the Porsche 992 GT3R because it's one of the most competitive cars here in the GT3 class in RaceRoom. It depends by the BOP, but probably cars like Lamborghini, Audi, maybe BMW could be a good pick. But yeah, anyway, this track is just as a reference, so yeah, let's go on track. Brake just before the 50-meter panel, as you can see on from my POV. When there is on the right side of my screen, I start braking. As soon as I reach the peak, I start a bit of trail braking. You don't need to trail brake that much, especially because you don't want to abuse of the ABS, because it's not like iRacing where you have to avoid the ABS activation, but here you don't need to abuse. It's not like ACC, for example, where you can use a lot the ABS. Just let the car go through a bit, then you can apply throttle on the apex in 2 steps, like 70-75%, and then completely flat. That's one small tip curb. You can clip the curb, but don't stay here, like on this line, on the very end of the curb. Most of the time you have to use the very end part of the curb, because it's, if you are able to put the car between the final part of the curb and the starting, like the first part of the grass or whatever there is there, it's like the tire is going to connect on that sort of line or tube, call it, I don't know how we can call it, but you can feel that you have extra grip, extra rotation, so you can use to go on power early, or just bring more speed, or just make the car a bit more stable there. But here the curb is a bit too high, and in the middle there is an angle. So if you put your inside front tire here, you will have your inside rear tire on this angle. So when you go on power, the car just oversteer because you have no grip, and the inside tire starts to spin so fast, so you will have a bit of oversteer. You can control it. Luckily RaceRoom has a tire model which give us a lot of room to play with, but remember that, like, the efficient room where you have actually you have grip, you have traction, it's very small, so we have to stay on that tiny room if you want to be fast. Then here, of course, use the wall track, but remember, even if you go here in the grass, the track limits, I don't know why, it's this line, not this one, so you can be aggressive on track usage here without any problem. Then if we go to turn 2, remember there is a bump here. Just change gear. If you have Porsche, of course, then you have to manage with other cars with different gear ratio, of course. But here, change from 4th to 5th before this bump, because you will not kill the momentum. Because if you shift on that bump, you will just lose just a tiny bit of momentum. It's like 10 or 20 milliseconds, but it's, you know, still make difference. Turn 2, just brake just before the end of this escape road or whatever. As soon as you reach the peak, which is high, but as soon as you reach it, just go on trail braking. Start immediately to put the car on the right, but do it very gently. You don't need to force the rotation. You don't need to be aggressive on the steering wheel. And here, just avoid the curve because it's too high and you will never benefit of it. You will just have an unbalanced car. You will never go on power. So you just lose momentum for the exit of the corner. Then here, use the wall track. Put the curb under the car. So if you see from my POV, that's on the middle of the screen. You will lose the wall track. It's really important, especially from turn 4 until turn 18. So all the uphill and down section, it's really important to use and maximize the track. Turn 3, be brave. Completely flat the entry. As soon as you reach the apex, tap on the braking, 80-75% of speed, then instant rail braking. Create the space here. Try to have a late apex, but not so late. Otherwise, you will never use the compression that just basically makes the car have more traction here, so you can go on power way more aggressive, especially if you drive Porsche, McLaren, Lamborghini, these kind of cars. Then turn 5 is flat. Don't touch the curb, otherwise you will just unsettle the car. But here, if you don't use the TC, like if you have TC6, here there is a small bump like here. If you take it, sometimes the car can snap a bit. You have just to control it. You have just to counter steer a bit. Then turn 6, use these marks on the wall, and then when you are close to this tree, just start cornering into the right. And then I saw a lot of people do these mistakes. Like, people here are lifting completely, but the problem is you're killing your momentum first, and then you put too much load on the front. So the car starts to rotate too much, and then when you go on power again, you will just get oversteer. So you kill the momentum and you unsettle the car. So here, just be brave, just manage the throttle. I think with an esports setup you can do it flat, but you know, this is not the case, so just manage the throttle, it's better. Use the wall track. When I say the wall track, yeah, the wall track I say, okay? So then turn 7, of course, it's, you know, we have already done turn 7. Turn 8, ignore the apex, because the main thing is prepare turn 9, and you have to maximize. When I say maximize, I'm not joking. You have to maximize the space you have to make the corner. It makes a huge difference because you can bring a lot of speed. You can use way more the compression we have here. You can start to make the corner when you are close to these two things, especially the first one. Okay, so you can use it as reference to start to make the corner. Okay, but the space is really important here. So use the wall track. Don't put the car on the curb. Don't use this curb because it's useless. You will just unsettle the car. You will lose grip. You will lose load. You will lose everything basically. So don't use this curb, and don't use the outside curb for the same reason. And here it's even more, you know, tricky because you hit the wall. Here, the curb is just useless. And here there is this small uphill. At the end of the uphill, just start to make the corner. Here, manage the throttle. Don't go off completely, otherwise you will suffer of the same issue of turn 6. And don't use both curbs for the same reason of turn 9. Here there is probably the trickiest part of this track. Try to be close to this wall when there is these marks, and when you are close to these 3 trees, I don't know, I think it's like a sauce. I'll Google that later. But when you're close to the black wall, just start to make the corner to the right. And when you are going, you know, under this panel, the 3-3 panel. Small tap and brake, just to have a little bit more rotation and support. Then let the car go through with just tiny bit of throttle input. Then when you're on this first apex, let's say, brake again, 80-85% as peak. Then try to cut as much as you can this corner, because this left corner should be as straight as possible, just to bring more speed and have a better braking here. You don't need so much for braking because you have to still have a bit of speed here. And to make this final part of downhill, you have to be brave, of course, and you have to just anticipate a bit your steering input. I know it sounds weird because we are about to crash here, but there is a small area where the car is lifting, which it's here. Here, the car is lifting a bit. You don't have so much load on the tires, so you have less grip, and then you have another compression here. So, if you wanna really maximize and optimize this corner, as soon as you start to tap the brake, you have to steer into the left and try to maximize the space you have here. It's really important. Probably even more important than turn 9 here, because here you can gain so much momentum from here until the turn 17 and 18. Because if you are not going to do that, your car is not going to point here, but it's going to point here. So you have to manage the throttle, and you can go on power like this. Boom. There is no opportunity to do that. There is no possibility. So try to create your own opportunity here. Okay. Small tap on the braking, early steering input, bam. Okay. You have to use the compression and decompression here. Okay. Here the car is lifting, no grip, then suddenly you have grip again. Turn 17, 18. Here just don't try to overshoot the corner, don't try to bring so much speed, because it's going to be useless. Here we need to sacrifice a bit the corner, we need just to stay calm a bit, stay chill. And because we know that there is a way more important corner ahead of us, which is this one we are looking for. Go gently until the peak of the braking, which could be 100% also, maybe even just a bit less is optimal. Okay, then trail braking. Here you have to be smooth, because you have to control your rotation, control your speed here. And then when you are close to this angle, okay, when you are close to the M logo, you can go on power absolutely flat out, especially if you are able to create space here. So stay in the middle of the track is going to kill your momentum here, it's going to kill your exit speed. Staying on the inside, it's even worse, so you have to maximize your track and try to touch the white lines here. Then there is a very long straight. We have enough grip to do the next corner without using the space. So just don't use it, because you're going to do more meters. So yeah, just don't do that. Don't touch this curb. You don't need it to make the corner. Otherwise you're going to lose speed. You're going also to unsettle the car a bit. Then just about before the 100-meter panel, brake very hard, down to third gear. Here just touch a tiny bit the curb. Don't abuse about this curb, because yeah, you can bring more speed, but you will also go on power way later, which is not good at all, because you are going to lose from here until to the braking zone of the last corner, which is behind this building basically. Then this curve is completely flat, so use it to maximize track usage. But the thing I said before, you know, just try to stay on this line. You will get additional grip a lot. It's like the car is going to be stuck on the curb. So yeah, it's going to be way better. Just a small tip here, try to not use entirely this curb, okay? It's going to kill your momentum. Don't go here, like don't put these tires here, like at the very end of the curb. Yeah, you are going to kill your momentum. So the perfect way is just to not touch at all this curb. Then we go on the last corner. We're approaching last corner. Brake between 50 and 100 meter panel. Down to second gear. Here, don't touch absolutely the inside curb, and even more important, don't touch the outside curb. You are gonna lose so much momentum if you put these tires here, because of the angle here. This curb is like that, it's not flat, okay? It's high and you have an angle here, so if you put the tire in this angle, yeah, you are done, basically. And then, of course, the lap is about to finish. And thank you for the patience. I think it's going to be a bit longer track guide. Of course, on this video you will find the whole lap, like the whole onboard lap. So if you want to see it without my voice, without stopping every time, you can still do it. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. I hope it's going to be useful. If you have any question or feedback, just go on my Discord and write me a message, send me a message, or if you have any feedback, leave me a comment. If you need advice for the car, if you need something, just let me know, especially on YouTube or on Discord. We can have good conversation. I think it's good to interact all together, especially ahead of the race. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed and see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.